Hello, Flosstube. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my my Flosstube update, number 242. Today is Saturday, July 23rd already. My hair looks kind of goofy. This is a channel about cross stitch, in case you're wondering what Flosstube is. I don't have a whole lot of stitching to talk about, some, but not a whole lot. And I don't have any haul. I restrained myself. Actually, this week's been kind of busy with appointments and stuff like that, so I haven't had the time or money to go and do those things. I had an MRI on Monday. I go once a year to have an MRI done to check, because I had, for those who might not know, who haven't been followed me on this channel for very long, might not know that I had brain surgery in 2016, and I had a slight stroke during the surgery because they took the tumor out and it was involved in the blood vessel, and which bled and caused me some disability on my right side. So anyway, but because the tumor was touching my facial nerve, they left part of it in there so that they wouldn't disturb my facial nerve. So every year I have to go back for an MRI to check for any potential growth on that little sliver, and I also have to have an X-ray done because I have a shunt over here, and it's adjusted with a little magnetic thingy. So, and the MRI, has a big magnet in there, and so they do an X-ray beforehand to check the setting, and then they do the MRI, and then they do another X-ray afterward to check the setting again. So, anyway, that happened on Monday. It takes kind of a little while, but yeah. And then and actually I go into an EMT doctor to, he gets the results of the MRI and blah blah blah. So anyway, that happened on Monday, and then I had another doctor's appointment on Wednesday, and so yeah, it's been a week. But I saw a cartoon the other day. I had the MRI on Monday, so I think I saw this cartoon either yesterday, which was Friday, or maybe the day before. But it was something about like how a CAT scan actually works, and it was this guy, the patient, going into the scanner, and the doctor there, and then like you could see inside the machine there was all these cats, yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to talk about cross stitch now that I've gotten all that junk out of the way. So on Thursday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I worked on my number 11 and a WIPGO number, which was and Heaven and Nature Sing by Barrick. That is this one here. And so last week I had all but finished the latter half of this darker brown of the deer body, about half, and I had like a handful of stitches, like maybe 5 or 6 stitches here to finish crossing. On this one I'm using DMC, and I'm going like out and back, and so I just had like five or six stitches to finish crossing, and then the front half. And so I worked on this green of the collar. I keep calling it. I was like, I couldn't think of the word that I wanted to, and I thought it was not necklace exactly, but I kept calling it a necklace. But it's a collar. It's collar that he has around his neck. There's a couple of different colors in there. There's a darker green, and then whatever this other color is, I forget. A light. It might be a lighter green. But anyway, so I had worked on this for a little while because I pulled it out on Thursday when my sisters and I filmed our Sticks and Strings video that came out last Sunday. And so we had filmed that, and then what am I trying to say? Oh, so I took this out to work on it during that video because I was finishing up, I was doing all this out and back on the back end of the deer. So I went ahead and finished working on it except for that one part. And then I just got tired I didn't want to start any thread or whatever. So I had some of the green thread left, so I started on this collar. So I did a little more work on the collar till I got to the end of the piece of thread that I had. I still have another one to go. But anyway, so I worked on it Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So I finished, working on the deer butt and everything. And but I actually wasn't done hitting my 10 days for my the other WIPGO, which was Hello Pumpkin. Now this, as of yesterday, Friday, I hit my goal in 10 days. So I still have quite a ways to go. Excuse me. I don't have the top part of the picture, but you can kind of tell there's a hedgehog here, and I think other like leaves and stuff here. But I know there's a hedgehog. I just can't. I think this might be another pumpkin or something. I don't know. But so the one thing I did though, I made a mistake on this little leaf here. It affects this leaf and this leaf and this acorn, I think, are wrong. And maybe, no, I think this pumpkin is right. Anyway, so I worked on this. And the one thing I am a little concerned about, but I don't think it'll make that big a difference, is that being one off here might make this shape, the general shape of the tree, a little wonky. I don't know yet, and I really won't know until I get up there. And I don't think I'm gonna make any kind of adjustment to the picture, to the icon, like lower or something. I don't think it's that big a deal, but it's just one of those little things. But anyway, so I worked on this fox here, and I finished him except for there's a little white square in each eye, and then there's some brown color there on the inside of the ears that I haven't done. But I did everything else on his face. This lighter color for his face, doesn't show up very well. It kind of shows up better in person than on the video camera, but there's that. So the fox is finished except for those little details left in his face, his eyes and his ears. And then this leaf is finished. And so this leaf and this little leaf here are one stitch too high. And so that makes this too high, and this too high, and I think this one is correct, but I'm not sure. Because I had already done like the white and the purple and brown of this leaf, and the brown here and here. I had already done those before I figured out that I was mistaken. So, you know, if it makes a difference, I don't know. But so I saw the things I worked on. I finished. There was one little blue leaf missing here, and I did do the top of this mushroom. Although all these little specks here are white, going to be white like this. You know, the white that's missing here goes in here also. And so I did a leaf here, a leaf here, a leaf here. You know. So, and this is 28 count avocado dyed fabric. So it has a little pinkish tinge to it. It's basically beige, tan or whatever, but it's got a little pink tinge to it in person. You can really see it a little better. Anyway, that's 10 days on this Hello Pumpkin by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and using DMC colors 2/2. And I might work a little more on it just to finish those, like the white and the mushroom and the eyes and finish the, you know, the little details of the fox. But otherwise, that 10 days is done. Actually, I worked on it a little bit today because I wanted to finish that fox. Technically, the 10 days were finished as of Friday, excuse me. But I wanted to go ahead and finish the fox's face because I was working on his little, the orange part of his head, and I just wanted to finish it. So then, to the rest of shortly earlier today, I was working on the deer. So I on Saturday night after my update, I did a little bit more on this collar. So I think I had done about up to here, and so I did, you know, the rest of this part, and so there's a little bit more, and then there's lots of deer, and like I said, another color here in it. But so today I finished the stitches that I had left on the back half of this deer, and I started here working on the outline of, like, this is where his front leg is, one of his front legs. The other front leg is separate down here because there's a lighter tan color that goes in this, you know, on the gap underneath the deer body. And so then this will be just lots and lots and lots of stitching of the deer. So I think I'm going to at least try to do the one front leg. I've done, this is, today is about the 4th or 5th day of the 10 days that I had set aside as my goal for this. So, I think I might just do the outline stitching to get to the, to do the leg. Maybe I'll do the front leg because it's you know, it's kind of thin, do this leg here. So right now I'm working on this, so I think I might go ahead and finish it, and but I don't know if I'm going to sit there and just do brown, or if I'm going to, like, I think I want to finish the green on this, the darker green on this collar, and then maybe the other color there, so that I don't have to think too much about you know, like leaving a space there to skip over it for this brown, the brown part. So if I finish the collar, then that makes the darker brown easier to do. But I kind of like to if I can, to, you know, to get up there, because I want to do these big antlers and deer and birds and stuff, and I really can't do that unless I've got something to go off of. I mean, I guess I could if I started here and, you know, went up or something. But Yeah. If I can, maybe I'll do these little thistles or whatever they are over here. There's lots of fun little, interesting, and I think it'll be easy to do these little icons here once I get over there. Maybe and get going on them because they're just little individual, things. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stitching that goes into this. Um, the little individual icons should be pretty quick. It's just this giant deer that will take forever. And I don't know what the significance of the 1857 on here is. 1827, excuse me, I can't read backwards. 1827. I don't know. It was probably discussed at the time that this came out, but if it was, I missed that conversation. So, like I said, I worked on this part of it before, and my needle minder's upside down. But so yeah, that's all I've done today so far because I worked on the Hello Pumpkin to finish that off. So anyway, that is all the stitching that I've been doing this week because, like I said, I've been working on Hello Pumpkin. So I will have more next time. But so the other thing I've been doing a little bit of is, as I talked about last week, I had bought a few things on the Amazon Prime Day, whatever. And so because of that, I got a temporary, like a trial thing of Amazon Prime. And of course, they want to spoil you because they want you to like it enough that you'll continue paying for Amazon Prime after the trial period, the free trial is over. But anyway, so in the meantime, I got the free trial thing, and it's been kind of fun. I've been watching some movies that that are only on there, and one of them, I did have to go ahead and pay for it because it's not a free movie. And I knew that it was on there and that it cost like just a few dollars to rent and a few more to buy it. But I went ahead and bought it because I I've watched it a couple times since I bought it, and I will probably watch it maybe a little more. And I think after the trial period is over, if I don't think I'll be able to see it without having Amazon Prime on my, I don't think I'm going to be paying monthly for that service. I don't know. I don't think. But anyway, so I went ahead and bought it, and the movie that I'm thinking of is it's kind of slightly nerdy to think about, but the movie is it was a made-for-TV version of Treasure Island, and if you are willing to pay for it on Amazon Prime, either to rent or to buy, it's probably in my mind the definitive version of Treasure Island. If you don't care about it, feel free to skip ahead or whatever, but I have like this old version of the paperback, I bought used when I was in school. And it's by Robert Louis Stevenson, and this edition is like so cheapy that it doesn't even have like the date that the book was written or anything like that, in the front of it, and it's it's kind of cheapy version of it, and actually I might go ahead and buy it and another version of it. I don't know, but it's been a long time since I've read this, but I have read it, and years ago, there was a black and white version of it made with Wallace Beery, not Noah Beery, who was the one that most people know. He was in the Rockford Files, and many other movies. He did a lot of character acting, but his father, Wallace Beery, was also an actor and was very busy in the, I don't know what, the 30s or something, whenever this version of the movie was made, with Jackie Coogan, I think it was. So they made this version of it, and it was okay, but then Charlton Heston, his son Fraser Heston, wrote and directed this version, this 1989 version. So Charlton Heston played Long John Silver, and Christian Bale, when he was a teenager, or very, very young anyway, played Jim Hawkins, the main character in the story, and then like lots and lots of character actors whose faces are very familiar to me were in it, as the Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesey and all the different sailors and all that. But when I was I'd seen it when it was on television, in 1989. This was probably either just before or just after I moved to Little Rock that it was on TV. And it was, that long ago. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This music by the Chieftains, if you're into that kind of music or whatever. But I loved it. But it was on a made-for-TV movie, so it wasn't like it was, in the theaters and then on DVD and all that kind of stuff. It was hard to find, or impossible to find, basically. And so anyway, I had it in the back of my mind somewhere, and then I didn't remember what prompted it, but there was like some kind of a review or something, or article or somewhere that I read that was talking about Treasure Island, and it was talking about this particular version of the story, and the writer was like, oh, it's so good, it's so good, and then he had I guess somebody had told him that it was available on Amazon, so he was like very happy. But it was not, Amazon Prime was not something I was going to go out and rush out and buy, and pay for or whatever. But so when I got the free subscription, I thought, I'm going to go look up this movie. And so I like I said, I went ahead and watched it. And while I was watching it the other night, I was thinking, gosh, it's so cliched, the whole thing with all the dialogue and the Long John Silver with a parrot on his shoulder and all this stuff. And then I thought, that's where we got it all from this book, a million years ago. Like I said, this I was trying to find the what do you call it, the year that it was written, but it was like, this is Robert Louis Stevenson, so it was a couple centuries ago, or in the 1800s or whatever. But it takes place, I guess, in the 1700s, I think, or something like that. But at the time he was writing it, this was before we had all these, cliches and movies and everything about what a pirate is like, And so all the stuff that we got, all the things like the Pirates of the Caribbean and all that kind of stuff, it all came from this book. The dialogue, the style, the one-legged sailor, pirate or whatever, and all that kind of, the buried treasure and the treasure map and all that. That's all, probably it was known to people who researched pirates and all that kind of stuff, and their treasure and all that. But very few sort of run-of-the-mill average people knew about it, of course. But now that with the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, and now the movies and all that kind of stuff, now all that stuff is common place social images, that we have now. And so so I was like, oh yeah, this is the original where it all started. So, and I love all the, like sort of seafaring movies. There's a really good movie called Master and Commander, that with Russell Crowe and a whole bunch of other people. And the Horatio Hornblower series, there's a whole series of movies with Ioan Gruffudd, who, if you saw the movie Titanic, there was the one sailor that was rescuing people. He was shining a flashlight out of the ocean. Is anybody alive out there? And they rescue Rose from the icy waters of the North Atlantic. So that's Ioan Gruffudd. Anyway, he played Horatio Hornblower in this series of Horatio Hornblower movies back in the day. I think I saw like a couple of them, but he was in. There's a whole slew of them on like on Netflix or something like that. There's a whole bunch of them. Anyway, I love those kind of movies. All the sailing ships and the sailors and the blah blah blah. I just love that kind of stuff. That's why I have my four pieces of cross stitch that are sailing ships, that I still haven't finished, by the way, but I'm plugging away at them. So anyway, it's my kind of obsession. So Treasure Island, it was, I watched it twice this week, already, and yeah. If you haven't guessed, I'm all a Twitter over it. But anyway, there was something else I was going to talk about. I think, I don't know, maybe not. Just that. Our Sticks and Strings video is going to be a little bit different this weekend. It should go be online as scheduled on Sunday, but we did it. We kind of did a split screen kind of thing with my sister Eve and I here, and my sister Naomi at home, because her son, they had gone out for her birthday. They had gone up to Prescott and they went to a home show, and so in all of that, somehow their son Eli got exposed to COVID and tested positive for COVID. He was kind of feeling puny or whatever, and they went ahead and tested him, and he tested positive for COVID. But they just yesterday, did at-home tests for the three of. They kept Eli there in their home with him, so he wouldn't be all by himself in his apartment, if he got sick or anything. But so the three of them, tested again yesterday, and tested negative. So they seem to be over it. But like we had just finished, filming. We had a little bit of an ordeal, trying a few different ways, trying to get it to film, because like the audio wouldn't work or whatever. So finally, the way we did it seemed to work well. So anyway, so we're gonna have a little bit of a split screen kind of thing for this weekend's update on Sticks and Strings. So it's gonna be a little different. I don't know all the particulars yet about what Naomi was going through, like, trying to get it to upload or whatever. As far as I know, it worked really well. So so there's that. Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else. this week. Next week is the 26th. Is that right? No, the 31st. No, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Today is the 23rd. Next Saturday is like the 30th or something. Yeah, the 30th. The 31st is Sunday. But, so next week I will know what the WIPGO numbers for August are. And I will know what, I will have my cross-stitch camp project ready to go. Although I will not start it until the 1st of August, which is a Monday. A week from this Monday. I'll do the rest of the 10 days for and Heaven and Nature Sing, and then I should have 1 or 2 days left at the end of the month to do whatever. And I don't know if I'm going to do Rabbit Rabbit, if I'm going to do whatever. I don't know. I have 2 whole days to do anything I want. Again, I could do something else, something more, whatever. I just keep not doing it, So I keep wasting time, playing Candy Crush and watch TV or whatever, So hopefully I'll get some more done. But yeah, so I have 2 days of nothing committed, so I can do whatever. But I do want to spend a full 10 days working on and having a nature sing, just so I can get some good progress on it. I know I won't finish it because there's a lot to do on it, but if I can get a lot of work done on it, then that helps, So anyway, I think even though this video is very short, I think that's all I have today. Let me think real quick. Yeah, that's all I can think of for now. Yeah, that's all the stitching that I've done anyway, for sure. So I will see you next time, next week. And like I said, hopefully the WIPGO stuff, by next Saturday I should have hit my WIPGO 10 days for sure, and I'll know what I'm doing for the last couple days of July. Anyway, so I will see you next time, and until then, happy stitching. Bye.